Hey, child. How are you?
I'm good. How you, girl?
How was your week?
It was good. Just sitting in a roach costume. That's how we ended it. I think that speaks volumes to how the week went.
Absolutely. This is how I'm feeling this week.
A little roach-like.
My God, I recently found a roach in my apartment.
No, it happened.
I can't even discuss it. I can't even talk about it.
Was it big?
Ran downstairs to my super. I said, "Sir, the building needs to be sprayed." He goes, Are you keeping your trash under wrap?" I said, "Yes, I am. So you need to come spray." He goes, "This is New York. It happens sometime." No. I said, "Oh my God, we're in this alone."
so
I
he
came
didn't
back.
Spray?
No, they did come up and spray, but he
Look
was
at
like,
that.
but I was like, all right. But then you know what happens when they spray your apartment?
What?
Is dead cockroaches come out and die. They get
Hell no.
They get poisoned. They come out. They die in the middle of the room, and then you just find their carcasses. It's horrific.
Yeah.
It's like in Mulan when they came up and they were like, and they came out of the ground like
Like
daisies.
daisies. Well, at least you live with a man who isn't afraid to pick them up. I would be debilitated. Debilitated.
You were very afraid of bugs.
If I had roaches
I
in my
hate. No,
apartment.
I'm not even gonna play like you're afraid of bugs. I too am afraid of bugs.
It's gotten better though. Like before, I would be immobile. Like I would need to move out. Like I couldn't recover. Now because I live alone, I can recover. I just got to do it, kill it, and keep it stepping. But that would end me. Roach carcasses, can't do it.
I can't. I could. A rat would. I would have to move.
And this is where we differ. Because I'll befriend the rat.
Oh, okay.
Me and the rat are friends. We can live harmoniously.
Okay, Chef Gusteau. Anyone can cook.
Anyone can cook. Anyone can live with a mouse. I can't live
Our
with
producer's
roaches.
trying to stifle her laughter.
Tracy. Yeah, girl. Absolutely not. Now.
You don't mind? You don't mind rodents?
Hell no.
I had a nightmare the other night, and this is so real. I had a nightmare the other night that there were thousands of guinea pigs in my apartment, and I was just putting them outside, and every time I'd come back in, there were guinea pigs.
were more.
Because I find guinea pigs to be so disturbing.
I love them. They're little
What
squeaks.
sound do they make? I don't like it at all.
I love them. One of my mom's boyfriend's kids back in the day, they had two guinea pigs. They were named Quagmire and what's the other?
You always remember
Quagmire.
the names.
Girl, I can't
My
remember.
girlfriend had a ferret named Gucci.
That is true. But she did have a ferret named Gucci. And Gucci was that girl or boy. I don't remember.
It doesn't matter.
He did
I think
stink.
ferrets are cute.
They're
But anyways,
adorable.
we're getting way too far off on the tangent.
Way off on topic.
Roaches are crazy work. But what's funny is when I was Miss New York, I was Miss New York and I watched you in a pageant. And I'm not going to say the name of the pageant. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. A local that you competed in.
Okay.
And I remember we were sitting. Now, the one thing you need to know about pageants is that they're always low budget, if any budget at all. Everything's done for free.
Yep.
You know, you got a big bar on still to get everybody in the room.
Very much on the low production.
So we went to a pageant, and we're sitting and I'm sitting there, and I'm in a full evening gown and crown as Miss New York, and Tiffany is competing, and I'm really excited to see all the young women compete, but also my best friend's competing. That's so exciting. And I was sitting there, and as they were calling the names, and Tiffany did win this pageant, so I was really happy to watch you win.
Thanks, my boy.
I'm sitting in the front row, and I look down, and a roach crawls over my heeled shoe as Miss New York.
I did not know this.
I went, under my breath. I just stood up, and everybody was like, "Oh, Miss New York's standing up." And I went, and I was like, "Time for me to go get on stage." And I walked up. That's why I walked up on stage. And it wasn't time.
It wasn't
a roach just crawled over my foot in this Manhattan theater.
Oh, that's disgusting. Girl, I'd lose my mind.
There are roaches in here.
I would lose my
But I think, part of
mind.
being in New York City, roaches and rats are just part of the culture. You just get used to them. You accept that they are part of being outside. I don't want them in my house.
Charm.
But I'm not shocked when I see them inside any establishment, really.
That's fair. I was shocked. I will say the one thing that shocked me, I didn't tell you this in Paris, when we were sitting at the last night, I think we got drinks.
A mouse was in the restaurant.
Did you see that?
And they
ran right under our table.
Oh, lady, sorry, a little sorry.
No. This was another place.
A different one?
I didn't say anything to you because we were mid-conversation. The mouse was going so fast, it rounded the corner and fell on its side because it was going so fast around the corner. I said,
Went right by. You didn't tell me there was a mouse in the restaurant we were in?
I didn't. I don't remember the name of the place we were at. We had the yummy cocktails. Point being, before I could say anything, the conversation moved, and I was like, "Well, I guess
I'm not that surprised
Paris.
Because whenever I've been in Paris, there's always a mouse or a rat in the restaurant. And in the French, I remember we're at a restaurant, and somebody was like, "There's a mouse in here. A little souris. C'est un petit souris là. Oh là là." And they're like freaking out.
Oh là là.
We're sitting there, and Tiffany was like, "Oh, there's a mouse in here.
That's
Little
nasty.
ratatouille." And then the guy comes out, and the French waiter comes out, and he goes, hello, sorry guys.
He was so not moved.
He went,
not concerned.
Sorry guys. This is what happens when you sit out in the outside.
We were all
I'm like, sir, we are inside. I don't know.
Because we were inside.
We were in a sunroom.
Girl, well, you know what they say? This is so off topic, and this is the last thing I'll say. Ratatouille was a ploy.
What? For what?
They made the pause. What?
What?
For what? They made the movie Ratatouille. I've heard this through the Disney grapevine to excuse the rat problem in Paris.
Who's they?
The Disney beings, the people.
The dark Disney beings.
The dark Disney underbelly made Ratatouille.
The men that run the cruises.
To make the rat problem excusable. Hell, it worked because I didn't balk when I saw them out.
No, I mean, rats and roaches are just part of that. How many times have you been leaving a club and you're just walking through New York and a garbage bag is moving and it's like, because there's rats inside the garbage
that was
bag.
An accurate sound.
One time I was out with my girls, right? I'm in platform heels, little tiny cocktail dress. I'm falling out of the top because I always like my breasts to look like yeast baking around twine.
That's true.
When I'm in any dress, I love to have a big bodacious bosom.
A big bodacious bosom.
Love big titties.
Why did you look at the camera?
Because I want everybody to know.
Loves big titties.
I love them.
It's crazy.
I can't even believe I just said that on a podcast. Obviously, I've been drinking. I don't care. I love boobs. I think they're great.
You do, though.
I think it's so great.
You're out.
I was walking down the street.
You got it.
And there was a bag moving, and it was a rat. He'd always been caught in the bag because it was tied up at the top. And the garbage truck was coming. We had seen it a block away. The dudes, and here's what happened in New York. I don't know if you know about this. The trash is out on the street. The garbage guys get out. They pick up the bags, and they whirl them over their heads. Throw them into the truck. They jump back on. Let's go. They drive out.
Zooming.
It's crazy.
It is fast.
And I knew this rat was going to get thrown into a garbage truck and crushed. And there was just part of me that was like, I can't leave my boy. So I said to my girl, I said, Janet, give me your keys. She was like, what are you talking about? I just met her. We would never hang out again after this. I took her keys. I ran over to the bag and I cut it open. Crow. I said, run. I ran away. Rat came exploding out of this bag.
Oh my God.
He went, it was like Alien versus Predator. He came out of the body. I fell backwards. I was like, don't kill me. I freed you. Please.
Your roach ear is under the lamb.
Please. I'm trying to save you.
So the roach gets away.
It was a rat.
That too. The rat gets away.
And possibly other roaches.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I freed him. I couldn't bear to see him thrown into a garbage.
And then when the garbage man flung the bag, they get
I did feel bad. I didn't cut a huge hole in it, just enough for him to be free.
Well, you remember my old apartment was... I used to live on the Upper West Side, not far from where you live now. Mm-hmm. Used to live on the Upper West Side. It was a first floor apartment. The first time Taryn comes over to visit, I give the preface as we enter the door, just so you know it's loud in here.
I thought she meant the street, like cars.
I said, no, that too, but I live right above the trash can.
Which means that there was an entire small metropolitan city.
When I tell you,
of rats.
This was beyond an infestation. It sounded like West Side Story underneath my window every single night.
Maria!
This is
Maria!
I want to be in America. Like crazy. I knew that I had gotten used to living in New York City when I stopped listening to the rats. Like it just did not bother me. It only became a thing when people visited. And then I had to explain.
I always imagined that they had little meetings and stuff. And so I remember when we would be laying in bed.
Kikiing, laughing.
And then there'd be this crash. And she goes, oh, girl, the rat's just fighting.
Girl, that's fine. Don't mind them. Insanity. Anyway.
They would have little meetings. We have to get into going out.
Let's talk about it.
Rats are an important part of going out in New York City. That was the point of that segue, and it wasn't supposed to be that long. But I could literally talk about rats and cockroaches all day.
We're very excited to talk to you guys about one of our favorite topics, going out in New York City. We've done our fair share of it. We do it frequently, differently
now
than how we used to, for sure.
Yeah.
Because one of our first little hangouts, I think we actually went out.
Good like God. We went to Tao with a group of models.
We did. That's not even what I was thinking was the first
Which is a rite of passage.
That's true.
If you're a young 20-something in New York City, to go with a promoter and a group of models to Tao.
To the biggest table in the room with Buddha hovering over you. Girl, you've made it. You have made it.
sour-faced girls at coat check staring you down as you hand them your Kmart purchase puffer.
Your
and you
big
go,
puffer.
And you go, here's their, do we have to pay it all for coat check? No, it's fine. All right, thanks so much. If you guys have Venmo, I'll tip. No, go away. All right, I'll see you later.
And you totter
is that
down.
Grunk? Cool. What's he doing here?
Is that Grunk? Then you totter down the staircase in
your little heels. Oh, God.
Yeah, and our bad dresses. I have a picture from that night.
You never look bad. You never look bad. First of all, let's roll back. You never had I had a bad dress on. I had a bad dress on.
I have a picture.
Oh, I didn't look good that night. I mean, at the time, I thought I looked fire. I can do better now, but that's only because I've had a lot more work done.
Give yourself some damn credit. I feel like I really didn't get fined until I was like 24, 25.
And frankly, it has nothing to do with Botox, filler, all that stuff.
Nope.
It has more to do with when I was 22, 23, I thought I was like, wow, I'm in my like grown woman era. Mm-hmm. No, I truly don't think that I came into grew into my face until after I was 25.
Certainly.
Absolutely.
This is the finest I've ever been. But being a black woman, we're only going to get finer, which is so exciting. Like,
we love that.
Woe to all who will encounter us on the street in 7 years. Are you kidding?
You better watch out.
Good
when
luck.
I'm 78, you're not going to have a chance, Buster. Yeah, and then like, one thing that you start doing when you start going out a lot in New York is you make friends with I make friends with all the bouncers. Mm-hmm. I'm always friends with all my bouncers, and a lot of bouncers work multiple locations. So if you know one and he's in that area, I think it's a smart thing to do. You end up making lots of friends with various bartenders.
And there's never a door that you meet that you can't get into. This is this is going to sound very pretentious, but I'm just going to say it. I don't wait in lines. Never have. Never will.
I didn't know you were going to say that to them.
Oh, I'm saying.
We're just two roaches.
But I'm not saying it because we're particularly attractive or fine or whatever. We befriend bouncers.
Yeah.
I don't walk up to the door expecting to get in. I walk up like not a clown, but I'm like, hey, how's it going? And that works better than like, hi, how's it going? Like,
yeah,
I need to be in here.
Yeah, don't show up with sort of, I think some people show up in this sort of odd or timid way. Because granted, it's an intimidating thing to walk into a New York City club or bar.
For sure.
But frankly, over time, as you start to sort of make these connections, you realize the moment we get to any spot, we're going to know somebody.
Somebody you're going to know at the door. And the longer you go out, the more you go out, you will know someone eventually.
And just be nice.
And then it
sweet.
just becomes friends.
I'll
never forget, Tati and I went out one night and this is the key or the gag, never go out with intentions of having a good time. And this is the one night that I feel like we went out with a good intention and we actually had a good time. And I had never been to Acme. So Tati, she loves Acme. So she's like, let's go to Acme. Let's get dressed up. We'll have a good time. We'll do the whole thing. So we take a cab. It's super late. At this point, it's already like 1 a.m.
Lord.
The party's just beginning at Acme at 1 a.m. though, keep in mind.
Truly, that's New York, babe.
I didn't know this, but I was like, all right, we'll do it. Why not?
I have a girlfriend that always is consistently like, do you want to get dinner? I'll make a res at 12:30. After midnight. I'm like, ma'am. Ma'am.
You're in like your third REM cycle.
I know.
11:30.
The fog has already enraptured the graveyard.
The girls are asleep. But I used to be a late diner. Like that used to be my jam.
I know.
I have a late reservation.
Anyways, I'm so sorry.
No,
we need to
okay.
wind back. So
anyway,
you go out to Acme.
So we make it to the door at Acme. Tati has already prepped me that this is a tough door. Don't have expectations of getting in. And if we do get in, we'll had to have waited in line like 45 minutes.
Oh, that's crazy.
So true to fashion.
For the record, I don't believe any place is worth a 40-minute wait. So
unless Beyonce's in the room now.
I shan't.
Not doing that.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, every time we've shown up somewhere and they're like, oh, well, there's a line. The moment I turn to Tiffany and I'm like, all right, well, we'll go to the next spot. They're like, wait, well,
it's like
you guys can come. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A lot of times, a lot of places will try to create the FOMO effect by creating a line outside the door so it looks like
it's like an air. They want the air of desperation to be heavy.
And I'm not into. I just want to have a nice drink with my friends. I don't need to be anywhere to be. I'm not into that whole be seen. No. I want to have a nice drink and listen to some Ja Rule.
Fair.
Leave me alone.
Every now and again, I like to be seen, but for the most part, now I do not want to go out and wait in a line. So where we show up and this line is thick, girls in puffers for miles, and I'm like, oh no, we're not doing this.
To see the wizard.
Crazy to see the wizard. And this tiny man is working the door, and I think he's known to work the door at Acme. I don't know this guy. Nonetheless, he's working the door. He's 4'11" max, and I'm like, this is the gatekeeper. So we get out of our cab. That wasn't nice. I'm sorry. We get out of our cab. And he takes one look at Tati and I, and he goes, you two. And Tati looks at me and is like, and I'm like, walk in, look cool, hold together. Like, best night of our mother freaking lives. It was so much fun. And I cannot ever imagine going back to Acme, ever waiting in that line. It won't be me.
Absolutely not.
No. And I've heard that man doesn't work there anymore. Hope he's well. But that was his door for like years.
The legendary gatekeeper of Acme favored you that night.
He sure did. That was nice of him.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. We've had some crazy... Okay. Do you remember the night that I was wearing that little tiny black dress that absolutely I put on and I was like, this doesn't really fit me quite right anymore, but I'm going to wear it. The little tiny black dress. And we went to judge that Halloween competition.
Always.
At the club.
We'll never forget it. Because I wasn't even supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. I got pulled in at the last minute.
You got pulled in the last minute.
I said I wouldn't miss this for the world.
I said, let's go judge a Halloween costume contest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The way this night, like, let me start here. We looked good. We looked cute. And this was a great little dress on me. I just had to be careful to not move too quickly.
Yeah.
Because it was a precarious dress, but it doesn't mean it was bad.
It was cute. You looked good.
It was a moment.
I had just cut my hair into a bob.
And then we get to the club, and it's totally packed, but we're like guests of honor because we're judging. I was judging as a former Miss New York, and we just told them Tiffany was a former Miss New York, and they rock with it.
It worked.
Good enough for me. So she was a pageant girl. It's good enough. So we go in, and because the club is so crowded,
and it's small,
that we're standing on top of a
table,
a banquette, a bench.
Yeah.
So we're actually standing on top of a bench. We're kind of perched on it. And
like this.
Tiffany, on top of the couch. Mm-hmm. And Tiffany goes, girl, let me get pictures of you. And she jumps off the bench. Mm-hmm. And she's taking photos of me from down below. And I'm posing. You took the photos. Click, 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 bow. I'm posing. I'm giving it all.
Serving.
If Tyra had been in the room, she would have been gagged. She would have known what to say.
Precisely.
And Tiffany goes, girl, you... And by the way, Tiffany's egging me on. She's
hyping the fuck up. Sorry, I cursed. Hyping it up. But she looked good. I mean, you looked great.
Thanks. And then you showed me the photo. And I said, delete those. I want to go home.
Tell them why.
In the photos, you could see my tampon string hanging out down between my legs.
And the dress was black.
It was too short.
The cavern between your legs was black.
That was the most dehumanizing and horrific experience of my 20s.
And the only thing you could see in this black cavern was the white string. It was crazy.
How dare you call between my legs a black cavern? But you're right.
It's true.
That is what it looked like. I wet myself laughing at that. Tiffany goes, why didn't you wear panties with this dress? And I was like, you know I don't own underwear.
It does not. Absolutely.
I don't care. They make you have UTIs.
Fair.
And you know how I feel about UTIs. We've already been over there. Anyways, that night was crazy.
It was crazy.
So then
we go upstairs.
I get over I tuck my string.
That was how we got out of that.
I think it was just a long tamp. I think my body was rejecting the tamp. Anyways,
that happened.
Moving on. I hope that if you're squeamish or this is upsetting you, I understand you don't have to watch the show anymore. But this is what we talk about on the couch.
It was real.
So anyways, we go upstairs to judge this Halloween costume competition.
Yeah.
And it was a hoot. It was a holler.
It was so
This
much
night
fun.
was wild. People were everywhere. Lights flashing. It was packed to the gills.
Crowd is thick.
And everyone in all these various costumes were just so fun. Halloween in New York City is so fun. If you ever want to know when to come to New York for a good time out, Halloween's actually quite fun. And it's also warm. It's still summertime warm in October in New York. Yep. So it's a lovely time to come and party in New York if you want to come.
That's a good point.
But we're out there, right? Mm-hmm. Now, me and Tiffany, there was only one other judge.
Yep.
So we do the way the costume competition works is we basically thumbs up, thumbs down, gladiator style, the costumes and who's making it through to the next round.
Yep.
And there's great costumes out there. And there was this one gal, and she was stunning. And she actually did look just like Megan Fox. And she was dressed in the Megan Fox's cheerleader costume from Megan's Body.
Yep.
If you're watching this now, Queen, which I doubt you are absolutely fine as hell. You look great.
The prototype, if you will.
And of course,
there are a couple.
Everyone, all the men in the room were like, woo! Every time she came on stage, they were like, woo, woo,
raucously.
Woo. They were like hyenas.
Crazy.
They were feral, and I understood why. But unfortunately for her, our eyes had already been caught.
We knew who our winner was.
From the moment the competition started, we were going to rig it so these two would win.
And did we ever? We did.
Tell him who it was.
It was none other than the Hamburglar and Ronald McDonald. Those two came out and we whispered immediately. It's them.
It was two girlfriends, drunk as all hell. I think they entered the competition on accident.
Wobbly.
Hamburglar was painted head to toe in purple.
That's really good.
Burglar thing on.
She had the striped shirt.
She could barely stand up, but she kept going.
Yes, every time she got up, she would dance.
They did a little routine together where
You're so right.
Ronald McDonald and her would do a little dance together,
So
and she pretended to like steal from her, and then be like, "Hamburglar, no!"
It makes it funnier though that the stage was this big, the
was
size of
itty-bitty.
this pillow, so they're up there rocking.
Itty bitty. Amongst
crazy.
all of the sexy costumes, Hamburglar and Ronald McDonald were in it to win it.
And there was nary an ounce of skin showing on these girls either. They were covered head to toe, rocking this room.
Costume design on 20.
Insanity.
Long story short, we get to the last round, and it's between Hamburglar, Ronald, and Megan's body.
Yep.
Megan's body comes up, and of course, as always, I'm not going to deny, she looks amazing. She looks super hot.
She did.
And she does her little poses on stage and does the pretend. She pretends to like do the lighter under her tongue, which was really cool. Everyone's hollering, hooting. And I'm like, listen, baby, you're not walking out of here empty-handed. First runner-up is still going to get a prize.
Good.
Who are you telling?
Just good.
But we had to give the crown to none other than Hamburglar and Ronald McDonald, right?
That's true.
Night comes to a close.
Mm-hmm.
We're leaving the club, me and Tiffany. We're a little tipsy, if you will.
If you will.
And that was my dog. We're coming out of the club, and what do we see?
We see a pile of trash
On the street.
on the street. Who's in it? None other than the damn Hamburglar. Laid out.
And Ronald was trying to help her out. She
To
was trying
no
to get her
avail.
because they had called an Uber, and the Uber was here to get him. And Hamburglar was taking a nap in the trash.
Laid out. And this girl, Ronald, is struggling to lift
And mind
this girl
you,
up.
me and Tiffany are in our itty bitty little skank dresses. Love it. Well, I'm in my little skank dress.
And I was in a see-through outfit, so
you
I was
looked hot.
skanking.
And I turned to Tiffany and I'm like, we've got to help our Hamburglar and Ronald McDonald. I cut my leg climbing over trash. I cut my leg because I climbed between trash and a semi-truck to get to them. And I climbed over the trash and I said, hey girl, are you okay? And Ronald McDonald's a little too drunk to function too, but she's at least still standing. And I said, don't worry. When we heft up Hamburglar. And
Keep in mind, we are not sober also. So
Yeah.
this is no easy feat for anybody involved.
Hamburglar goes, wait, my phone. And Tiffany goes, I got you. And Tiffany, you
Dives
like
into the
dumpster dive.
trash. This is no small mound of trash. Like, I need you to paint the picture clearly. It's a big ass pile of black trash bags.
It was huge.
Huge. So we find this girl's phone after Taryn throws her in the back of this Uber. Ronald
I didn't
McDonald.
throw. I've gently placed her.
It was a gentle place. Ronald McDonald thanks us profusely for helping
She's like,
her
thank
friend.
you so much. I said, babe, don't even. If you're watching this now, no shame. It was a great
None,
night.
girl. We tell this story with pride. This was a great night for all
I'm glad you
involved.
all had fun and you got home safely.
And I hope you used your gift card. That was their prize, I think.
It was a gift card.
Yeah.
And so as we get them into the Uber, Tiffany goes, found it. You take a piece of lettuce off the side of the phone.
Disgusting.
And you're like, here you go. We get them in their Uber and they send them off. And me and Tiffany are standing, staring at each other. Her in a completely sheer dress. Me in my little tiny black tampon dress.
Yep.
And
Tampon now.
my
fully
leg
out.
is bleeding and we're standing in a pile of trash. And I was like, well, top night.
And we headed off.
And that's
Hailed
New
cabs
York.
and dipped. That is New York. What similar, Taryn and I often find ourselves, at least when we're out, in situations where we're rescuing women. This is not our first time where we have been
so
in this,
many of
many of these stories.
But why? Because we're always looking, we're alert for it.
Is that it? I feel like they just find us.
You think so? I think I'm on high alert. I want to make sure everybody's okay.
I definitely am not, but I'm like, hell, we're in it to win it now. Like the moment that we recognize, we snap into
That we need
it.
to help
Captain
somebody.
Save 'em, and
Oh, I
we're
know.
in it to win it.
Absolutely. And we can't. There's no negotiation. I do
None.
love that I can look at you across the room and be like, we're stepping in, right?
We know what's going on, and we launch into action.
What's your perfect night out?
I think we're very similar in this, in that we both like to dance. Like I could look like I'm dressed in rags, but if the music is good, if the DJ is happening, I don't have to have alcohol. I don't have to be with people I like.
You could strap me to a gurney and gag me, and I'll still be on there like this.
Weekend at Bernie's.
If it's a good song is on. You can't stop me from dancing.
Yeah.
I love to dance.
I love getting sweaty in a club. I love walking out 4 hours later. I don't know what time it is. I barely got my purse. I can't feel my feet because I done danced them off 2 hours ago. Like,
and I
that
think
is
the biggest change now between going out now and going out when I was much younger, when I was 21 or 22, I would go out with folks, with people that do go out to be seen, not necessarily to dance or have fun. Like, to them, what is fun is being seen and looking good.
Yeah.
And I that's fun for about the first 10 minutes, walking into the room and being like, yeah, I feel like I look good and I feel beautiful.
Correct.
That's fun. Don't get me wrong. But it all goes out the window when the thong song comes on.
Which we are known to request.
We have to pantomime the strings. I have to get in there. Dun, 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 dun. Something comes over me. I don't know what it is.
It's the spirit of that box of bleach that Cisco used to bleach his hair. Because that's what held that group down.
And the Claire's piercing in his nose. God bless him.
Girl.
I don't know what it is. But I think the difference is now that I'm older, when I was younger, I used to kind of apologize for being the friend that's, I want to dance, I want to have fun, and I kind of let looking good go out the window. I wasn't, you kind of lose, I don't know if you, I think it's like, when you were 21 or 22, the male gaze is really important to you. It was, I heard, let me not make a generalization. I found that it was very important to me, and it lessened how much fun I could have. Now, I'm 28, and I've just grown up a lot more, and I'm married, and that has shifted, and I'm not dancing for the male gaze. I am dancing to have fun and let it all out, and it is so fun, and it's so freeing.
Yeah.
And I would, like that, I can't speak for other women, but I can speak to my hypothetical and future daughter. That's how I want her to go out.
1000%.
I want her to live her life on the dance floor, having fun, moving her body, 1000. Not worrying about if it looks good or if it even makes sense.
Yeah.
I want her to do the shopping cart.
The sprinkler. I talk about this with Tati a lot because she and I, that was one way that we became, Tati is one of our mutual very good friends. And she and I used to live together, and we would always go to Ethel's. I think we've already talked about Ethel's, but we would always go to Ethel's. And when we first started to go to Ethel, she's like, I love going with you because you don't dance. Like, you don't dance on me. You never touch me when we dance. And I was like, hell no.
Oh, I'm all over
going
you.
out to dance,
I yank you around.
Well, no, not like you do. Taryn will have her hands around my neck, choking me.
I'll be like, it's the Lady Marmalade. When
Don't
Christina Aguilera goes, hey!
I know to turn around because I'm about to get humped viciously.
Yeah.
It's like,
I will pick Tiffany up and throw her across the dance floor if it makes sense in the song.
It's not a lie. She has gone out in the past with women who prioritize like the sexualization of dancing on each other for men to watch rather than just going and losing yourself in the music for 5 hours. And she was like, it's so cool that you do that. And I'm like, it never occurred to me ever, even when I started going out. I've never been one to do that.
Well, I love that about you.
I don't know. I've just never been into that vibe. So to your point, the freedom that comes with just going out and dancing, nothing.
But also,
that.
Tiffany, you love music on a really deep level. You know people's full discographies. You know the history. A song can come on and Tiffany will know who this singer's father is because he's a prominent music producer that no one knows the name of, but he's important. Like, you love all that.
It's true.
And so you make me appreciate that more. But I love when we're on the dance floor and you and I are going between dancing and laughing so hard because the moves we're pulling are just hilarious and ridiculous. That is just so, it's my favorite thing.
It's freeing.
It's my favorite
like
thing
being in a trance. I love it. Nothing compares to it, honestly. And we got to do that in Paris.
Oh my gosh, me and Tiffany recently went to Paris, and we were on the dance floor
cutting a mother freaking rug.
I almost pulled a muscle doing the robot. I was out there. Couldn't stop. It was like stomp the yard. We were in Paris, and here's a great thing about in France. In France, they play all the throwbacks you wish clubs in America would play, but they're like too scared to play throwbacks because they want to keep it like relevant and cool.
I was pleasantly surprised.
France, they love American music. I'm just gonna say, and I have lived in France. They really love. I heard the Black Eyed Peas more when I lived there than I had ever heard living in the States when they were relevant. Oops.
That is so.
Who said that? What was that?
What was that?
What was that?
What was that?
Get in contact with my lawyer, huh? Well, I am. Well, I who? Anyways, well, I am
Will you
not.
what?
Will you what? Just kidding. Please don't get mad at me. Well, I am. I'm afraid of you.
Or at least your lawyers.
So they love American music in France. So when we were in Paris, we were on the floor dancing to "Run It." Not that
Which was our dream.
don't. Oh, it was Kiss Kiss,
girl.
We were the opening bars of Kiss Kiss. We were in there having a
You've
full
reached Nappy
on.
Boy Radio or whatever it is.
You've reached Nappy Boy Radio 5430. Yeah, we were in there doing a full on stomp the yard style dance battle.
Crazy.
It's just so good, and I recognize that it's easier said than done to release your inhibition and really, hey Natasha, and really just vibe on the dance floor because women have been so conditioned to perform for and live for the male gaze. Yeah. But I promise you, if you can get into a space where you just do it and where you just have fun, I don't think you'll go back.
No, you won't. You will not go back. Music becomes more enjoyable. The club, going out becomes more enjoyable. Your friends become more enjoyable because you're not worried about what whoever you're trying to attract is thinking about. You're just having fun. Can't recommend it enough, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you need a place to start, I would say nothing more than I love. There's nothing I love more than a gay bar. This is one of the best places to do it.
That is so true. Because
absolutely,
Lord knows they accept and hype. Or just go to any black establishment because black people will hype you up in a way you've never seen. It don't matter what you look like. It don't matter how you dancing. You will attract a crowd just if you're having fun. I love that about going out in black places, truly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love going out with you. I love dancing with you. I love having fun with you. If you
so
ever see us out in the streets, at the club, on the floor, challenge me to a dance battle. I dare you.
That was, where were we? Miss New York. That is what we did the first time.
Oh my gosh, when we first
I
met
think
at
we
a
already
pageant.
explained this, but yeah.
There was a dance party the night of before the finals night.
You tell it so well. It's so funny.
Me and Tiffany were on the dance floor fully with some of the most beautiful women in the state. And I pantomimed getting into a car and I went like this. I beckoned Tiffany. We had just met hours before and Tiffany knew right then and there that she had to pantomime getting to the passenger seat. She pretended to have trouble closing the door. Closed it to the beat. And then we both looked backwards and reversed the car and reversed out of our parking spot.
A crowd of beautiful women.
The crowd went crazy. They'd never seen anything like it, and neither had I.
It's crazy. That's a good question. Have you ever danced like that with anybody else? I know I have never experienced what we do with anybody else. That came as a complete and utter surprise to me.
I've got to say, the only other person other than you that matches the energy.
This breaks my heart.
Gabby can get it down.
Okay, I'm unbroken.
Gabby can break it down. Gabby's my
girl.
childhood best friend, and she always matches the vibes.
Gabby's that girl. I've yet to go out. No, yeah, because the night we went out with Gabby, we didn't go dancing.
We didn't, but
we went to get drinks.
All that to be said, you're my girl. You're my ride. You're my die. All day long. I love my friends. I have wonderful friends, and so do you.
And we be cutting it up.
We're running out of time, folks. We could just keep talking about this all day.
All day long.
The point is, where's your favorite spots to go out? What's your perfect night out? Are you a dance club kind of girl? Are you a wine bar kind of girl? Or are you just a night in on the couch kind of girl? Because I'm all three.
Solidly all three. Are you out at 6, back by 9:30? Are you out at 11:30, back by 3:30? I've got questions. How do people still hang out? Like, is that even a thing? Do you have late nights still?
I don't know. Let us know. We love you so much.
Yeah.
I hope you have a great weekend and great week.
I hope your bottle's empty.
What are we talking about next week? Next week, we're talking about jobs.
We're talking about work, girl. Travai, diva.
Travai, diva.
And with that, we bid you adieu. I hope you have a great week. We hope you have a great week.
We love you. And remember,
we're your girls.